Hey peeps, this is Mathia Ford with Renal Diet Headquarters, and today I wanted to talk to you live about the Flavis desserts that I've been reviewing this week. We're doing a giveaway for that ends May the 12th, but the good news is if it's after May the 12th and you're listening to this, we do have a coupon code and I will put that below the video. So it'll be in the comments, just look for it. There's a coupon code that's good through August for you to buy anything that's on the Flavis site, but also these cookies and desserts that I'm going to talk about. So I wanted to start with, there's three different ones. There's one that's a fruit bar, there's one that's called Fellini, and there's one that's called cookies that seems to be the favorite so far this week. So if you have any comments, just put them in the notes below. But I wanted to start with the fruit bar. So it comes in a package of 5. Obviously I've used a couple of these, I've eaten them. It has like 0.2 grams of protein per bar. And the reason I love them is because, first of all, they're in a little package. So they're about the size of like maybe 3/4 of a granola bar if you're used to a granola bar. And they come individually packaged, so you can take them with you. I like them to take as a snack or to take to work instead of going to the vending machine. But they're individually packaged so they stay together. And then when you open up the package and you get it out, it's like, it reminds me of a fig bar. Obviously it's called a fruit bar because it's strawberry flavored, but I want to show you kind of, there's what the inside looks like, if I can get it to focus. And then it kind of has like a graham cracker crust a little bit. It's real easy to eat, you know, just have a little bit. It does have quite a bit of sweetness to it. So if you want just that little bit of sweetness, this is the bar for you. And I like that the crust is like kind of like a graham cracker crust. So this product is considered gluten-free. It's certified gluten-free. It does say it contains wheat, but what they tell me is that the way that they make the product, that makes it's actually a gluten-free wheat that they use. It is specifically a low-protein food, and the cost on it is about $4 a box. So my coupon's for 10% off, so that would save you 40 cents. And if you liked them and they were healthy for you, because they're low in potassium and phosphorus, each of these bars has about 20 milligrams of potassium and 10 milligrams of phosphorus. So it's really pretty low in both of those, and it's very low in protein. So it's a strawberry flavored fruit bar. So that's my little comments about those. I like these, like I said, because they're very travel helpful. You can take them with you. You can use them on the road. You can put them in if you're going to dialysis, you can take them with you to have as a snack during dialysis if you feel a little bit tired. They do have 19 grams of carbs per bar. So if you're a diabetic, this would be about 1 carb exchange, which is typical. If you wanted to add a little protein to it, like some peanut butter or maybe an egg, if you're allowed protein, that might help to balance out that carb a little bit if you're a diabetic. But it's very low sodium too. Let me remind you that it's 35 milligrams of sodium per bar. So all around a good food. It is very much better than a Fig Newton or a fig bar for you if you were to eat them as part of your diet. So the next one I want to talk about is called Fellini, and it is also it's a cookie. So they call it Fellini Biscotti, and biscotti to me are those dry kind of cookies that you eat with your coffee. So if you're a coffee drinker, you may be familiar with that. I like these bags because you can fold them over, and then they have like a little removable tab that you can close them down with to keep them easy to eat later. What's the right word for that? Make them so that they're not dried out. But the Fellinis come in the bag, and they're kind of loose in the bag, if you can see that. And if you're on the podcast, I know you can't see it, but they're just kind of loose cookies in the bag. So unfortunately, this was one of the things I mentioned in the blog post. That's my only real disappointment. Broken cookies taste the same, but they might want to rethink the packaging. So it is, let me remind you, it's got 0.2 grams of protein per serving, which is 3 whole cookies. So it has 4 grams of fat, it has 24 grams of carbohydrate in 3 cookies. Same thing, it's like 1.5 exchanges for a diabetic. Again, as a diabetic, if you're allowed, you might want to add some protein like a peanut butter or a cashew butter, or even just like some cheese with these crackers. They're pretty dry, so I think of them like coffee crackers, but they're pretty crunchy and dry. They have just a little bit of sweetness to them. Again, there's 24 grams of carbs. Of that is some sugar. But they're not super sweet. So if you don't like super sweet stuff, but you wanted to add some calories without adding extra protein, these would be a good choice, because there's 130 calories in 3 of them, and you would be able to kind of up your calorie level without upping the amount of protein that you're eating. A lot of what people don't understand sometimes is that a lot of foods have protein in them, and one of the things you're most concerned with pre-dialysis or end-stage renal disease is that you have protein limitations. But like wheat flour or whole wheat flour or grains have protein in them, which is good for most people, and it's good for you too, but it just matters like how much you're supposed to have in a protein in a day. So this one also has just 10 milligrams of potassium and 10 milligrams of phosphorus per cookie, but I'll show you kind of when you break it, it's pretty crispy. And then, like I said, it's pretty crunchy, but it's not too bad as far as it doesn't break completely apart, but they are kind of crispy. They have like a little sun on them. So I would like these, you know, either just as a light snack with your breakfast if you were trying to add some calories, but not to add protein. I like these for that, but I also just like them as in general. They're a good cookie. They're just a little bit sweet. I like a lot of sweet, but if you don't like a whole lot of sweet, these would be good for you. You'd like them. These are about $5. I think they were $4.79 a bag right now. And again, that 10% off coupon through August will give you 47 cents off. So think about the Fellini. We're doing a giveaway, and we're giving away 1 fruit bar, 1 Fellini, and 1 cookie. So you get a set of 3. And we're giving away 3 of those packages by next Monday, May the 13th. So that's something for you to think about. If you want to enter, head over to renaldiethq.com/Flavis giveaway. Flavis, just like it says on the package, giveaway. It's all one word. So head on over there. There's the information on the giveaway. Lots of ways to enter. It doesn't require a lot of effort. So I would love to send you a package. And if you're past the giveaway, you can always get a discount. So let's talk about the cookies. Now these cookies are what I call chocolate chip cookies. They're probably close to chocolate chip cookies. They're just not really chocolate chip cookies. They have a little bits of chocolate in them. So let me show them to you. So these come, and they're mostly whole cookies. So they're not broken up like the Fellini. So they're not quite as dry, I guess you would say. They're a little bit, but they are pretty dry cookies. And the bags that I got from Flavis, they provided me with some bags to do my evaluation. They were good till December. So these actually have a good date on them, at least 9 months, so you can eat them a little bit over time. Again, if you have questions or comments, put them in the comments and I will do my best to get that answer to you. But this is the favorite one on the blog. So everybody's been making comments that they would love to have chocolate chip cookies again. So when you look at them, they're, again, they're like 1.5 inches, 2 inches around, and they're nice. They have just that little bit of chocolate in them and just enough chocolate to give you the flavor. And then they're also not super sweet. They are super sweet. They are sweeter than the Fellini. Excuse me for eating on camera. You get that chocolate flavor, you really do. And 3 of them is a serving, again, on these. So you've got, again, 0.2 grams of protein. So adding any type of protein you want to it, some cheese, some whatever, to make it a little more protein, especially if you're on dialysis, you might need more protein. You don't need more potassium and phosphorus. These cookies have 20 milligrams of potassium and 10 milligrams of phosphorus for each serving, which is 3. Again, it's an easy way to add extra calories if you need more calories, but you don't want more protein. So these are also made with gluten-free wheat, and they're certified as gluten-free food. So you get about 7 servings in each bag. This cookie bag, again, costs about the same as the Fellini, $4.79. So I like them because they're not quite as dry as the Fellini, and they're a little sweeter. But it's not so sweet that you just want to eat a whole bunch of them, but you get that little bit of sweetness that maybe you're craving. And again, for the diabetics who may be listening, these have 24 grams of carbohydrate per serving. So you have a choice. You could do only 2 cookies, and that would give you like 16 grams of carb, which would be about 1 serving. You could eat the 3rd cookie. That would be another half serving of your carbohydrates. If you're counting carbs, if you're counting actual grams of carbohydrate, it's 24. So if you wanted to do that, so with the Fellini, I liked the idea of crumbling them up and possibly putting them on some yogurt, but you could also do that with these chocolate chip style cookies, is to break them up and use them in like a dessert or a crust with maybe a little bit even, I like the chocolate chip ones on some ice cream. You may not be eating ice cream, but I do like them with that. So it's just another choice that you have to eat a dessert that you may be missing right now that you want. You may be getting tired of eating fruit all the time or just restricting your diet so much. So this could be a little treat that you give yourself that you have, occasionally. Like I said, they last a long time. So and they're easy to take along. So if you wanted to take, these cookies, like I said, the chocolate chip cookies are not as quote unquote fragile. So you could grab those and put them in a bag, put them in your lunch, and take them a lot easier. The Fellinis might just break in half, but again, they taste just as good. So it's something that you can have with you instead of going to grab the snack machine. These are definitely better for you than just regular out of the vending machine cookies, because you know more specifically what amount of carbohydrate and protein and specifically the potassium, sodium, and phosphorus. Both of these cookies have just about 10 milligrams of sodium. Let me look at the Fellini. Yeah, Fellini has 10 milligrams. So each of them has 10 milligrams of sodium per serving, which is 3 cookies. So these are better for you than those. So if you're like, I'd like to get a little bit of a snack, but I don't want to have, you might think that they're a little bit expensive, although granted, $5 for a bag of cookies is probably not super more expensive than the other. But if you're using it just as a treat and maybe you have it once a week, these would last a month or so, and you could have that sweet that you really want. So those are my thoughts. I don't know. I'm not seeing any comments or questions. Let me see if I can. I don't really see any. So if you made a comment or a question during the live, I will answer it in the comments below. I will come behind it and make notes. I'm sorry if I missed it. My phone is just not showing me at the moment any comments. But I appreciate you listening, and I appreciate your time today. I hope you enjoyed me talking about Flavis, and I look forward to talking more about other things in the future. Thanks.